So I wanted to go more in depth of the Puerto Rico theory in regards to SUDIKSHA being there and how two men spotted her at a bar or somewhere in Puerto Rico, her sipping pina colada. Now, I'm going to call it bullshit, and I'm going to go more in detail why I call it bullshit. I hope and pray that it is true. I hope it's just not a stunt for these two particular men to get attention, to get likes, or for this video possibly to go viral. So I'm going to go deep into it and give you my opinion and my perspective of this. So, hey everyone, welcome back to That's It. So the reason why I'm calling it bullshit, if these two men suspect that this is her, okay, why they have not called the local authorities? Why they have not called the FBI, HSI, CIA, the embassy in Puerto Rico? Obviously, Puerto Rico is part of the United States as an American embassy there. Why they have not reported it? If they don't want to go viral, if they don't want their names to be out there and they want to keep their identity safe, now why not call one of these authorities to say, hey, this girl that I believe that got missing, that was missing, excuse me, in Dominican Republic, I believe that's her. I have a footage of it. I want to turn it in so you guys can investigate further. That's simple. But just to say, oh, we believe it might be her, but we are afraid to post it on social media because we don't want it to go viral. I'm like, really? Get serious here. Like, is it for your gain or is it just the matter of the fact that this girl been missing for 3 months? 3 months. Her parents think that she's dead. Everyone thinks that she drowned. I've been saying it from the beginning that this girl did not drown. Okay, this girl is much alive. That she was taken. She was sex trafficking, and that to me, that's what I believe, and these are the facts of it. Okay, because there's no body. Nobody has nobody has presented a body. No one has found any proof that she is dead. Okay, we're just going by what the local authorities in the Dominican Republic is saying to the outlet media and to the Dominican Republic news. Now, back to these two gentlemen. It doesn't make any sense. And it's just messed up. You're giving these people false hope. Okay? Now, I hope and pray what these two men are saying. I hope and pray it is true. I hope it is her. You know what I mean? Sipping a pina colada. I really do and pray that it is and it's not a hoax to get people riled up and give people hope that thinking that these two men believe possibility that it is her. Now again, the real question is, if you think that it's her, why did not? How come they're not turning the video into local authorities? Why they're not saying that? Why they're waiting? Don't put it on social media. If you want to keep private, if you want your identity to be safe, do the right thing. Do the right thing, my guys. Okay, do the right thing. This girl been missing for 3 months. Okay, everyone is worried sick about her. Everyone presume that she's dead. When I'm telling you guys, she is not dead. Okay, she was probably sex trafficking. Let me tell you my theory and how this goes. And I know I've been repeating it multiple times, but I believe it is in my heart of hearts that it's true. Now, obviously, she was alone with Joshua. They made out. They were in the water. There was a high wave. You know, they were probably were drawn back to the ocean, and apparently, according to Joshua, that he managed a way to grab SUDIKSHA and himself to go back to the mainland. Now, his statements obviously is inconsistent. We don't know which is true, which is not true. Apparently, he was very intoxicated and very drunk. So my theory is maybe in one of those statements, what he was saying was a possibility true, but then he started to make things up, in my opinion, because he probably did not remember. Because you have to remember from the footage at the bar, he was throwing up. Then he said when he was at the beach and he was in the water coming out and he had salt water in him, he was throwing up as well. So my theory is that it's a possibility that this guy did not remember half the things that was happening at the beach. He probably remembered bits and pieces, and then when he suddenly woke up, he said he was sleeping on the beach chair, and you would think, sleeping on the beach chair and the sun is coming on, you'd be red as a lobster, but no, he wasn't. But anyway, you would think that he will, my thing is that he would think that he will be truthful, but I believe that he was scared and nervous that people might think that he might have done something to her, that he probably might have hurt her. So he was just making stuff up, and that's what I was believe. Like half the things that he was saying, that he was in the water, he was not in the water. He saw her walking back towards the hotel. He didn't. Again, I believe that I believe he didn't remember. He didn't remember what was happening that day at the beach. He blacked out. He probably remembered pieces by pieces, bits by bits. That's what I'm trying to get at. And obviously, he got scared and nervous, and he probably made some stuff up. That's what I believe. Then, when she came out of the water, started walking back, I believe, to the hotel. They're probably they were probably being watched. Okay, after the friends left and went back to their room, and it was just the two of them at the beach, they were probably being watched. So then Joshua passed out of his mind, don't know what's happening. Then SUDIKSHA was walking towards back to her room, to the hotel, probably a gentleman's, went walking and said, hey, and noticed that she was stumbling, walking, drunk, out of her mind. No, not say out of her mind, drunk, and not fully there, not fully coherent. And they noticed that, and they said, hey, I can help you get back to your room. And then she probably nice enough, she was saying, okay, no problem. And again, she was drunk. But that was not the case. So they took her, put her somewhere, because now she's been missing. Now that her friends reported her 12 hours later that she has not returned back to the hotel, and she's gone missing. So then now they're doing a whole wild search for her to find her in the water, other areas where she was last seen. But basically, she was last seen at the beach. So now things are getting hot in the Dominican Republic, okay? Because people are being questioned. Well, only one person was being questioned, was Joshua. No one else was being questioned. No one else was being investigated in the disappearance of her. Now, whoever took her couldn't move her because things were getting hot. There was flyers left and right about her, so they couldn't do anything. So they couldn't make their move. So they had to stay put and lay low for a little bit until things died down. Now, when they noticed her belongings at the beach, one of her flip-flops, her bathing suit cover, the Dominican Republic authorities, they made that assumption that she drowned without any evidence or doing more further investigation to find out, did she drown? Where's her body? So she drowned, case closed, the end of it. And told the parents, well, we found her belongings, and Joshua, the person of interest, been cooperating, been answering all the questions, even though his answers were inconsistent, but he's been cooperating. And whatever the police authorities told the parents bought it because they thought that they were trustworthy, and then they declared their daughter dead, according to whatever they told the parents. And they let Joshua go, and he went back to the States. Now, once they realized the perpetrators that took SUDIKSHA, okay, they realized now they can make their move and travel with her. Now, everyone said that she's in Puerto Rico. In order to get to Puerto Rico, there's two ways: flying or boats. Obviously, they can't fly because then if they do, they will notice her in a security screen and flag it. So obviously, the boats are better because there's no radar, and the Coast Guards and everyone from the Dominican is clear. So they declare her dead, the parents. So then the people who took her, they can make their move to move her to a different place. She's no longer in Dominican Republic. I said that in my previous video, and I stand by that. She's not there. So she is not in the DR anymore. Now, is it a possibility that she's in Puerto Rico? Maybe according to those two men that spotted her in Puerto Rico, saying that they saw her. Now, That's how she's probably there, probably sex trafficking. And then people are like saying, well, how did she really get there? She would have any money. She would have had some money or some type of way to make contact. Did she fake her disappearance? And I'm like, why on earth? Why she would just fake her disappearance? Why? To leave her parents, her two siblings, her life behind for what? She didn't meet anybody except for Joshua. It's not like she had a boyfriend or someone that she knew at the bar. She was with her college friends enjoying their time at spring break. So that's to me, and that's for me, that's hard to believe that she would just fake her disappearance. Can that happen? Absolutely. Some people do it all the time and they get caught. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think that she would fake her disappearance, make her parents and everyone go through this, the FBI and everyone spend all these money searching for her, and then whoops, I'm alive. Here I am. I don't think so. And again, you got to think of mine. She didn't have her phone because her friends took it. She didn't have her wallet because it was back in the hotel room. She didn't have anything. Okay, so when she left at the beach, she had nothing but herself. Okay, so people are saying how she's getting money. If you're being sex trafficking, obviously the people that's taking took her will give her money, give her some type of something. You know what I mean? So people have to think that, put that in perspective too. The girl didn't have any money. She had no cards, no ATM, no cell phone, nothing. Okay, these people who took her provided those things for her. Now, back to this, the boat. Okay, she traveled by boat. She's probably in Puerto Rico. They probably, again, sex trafficking her and among other people. I'm not sure. And like I said, these two men, because one of the girls from the TikTok, she was like saying that these two men spotted her drinking pina colada, and they believe that's her, and they took the footage, believing that's her. Like I said, if it is her, turn it in, turn the video in. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? And that's why I feel like it's just bullshit to me, because if they believe that's her, or they believe it's a possibility it's her, why not turn in the video? What are you waiting for? You waiting for a big moment to put on social media so you guys can be famous? Oh, we spotted her, we found her, so ha ha ha, give us the credit. Boy, bye. I don't think so. Okay, that's why I'm not buying it, because if it was true, they would have done the right thing. If it was me, and I'm a good judge of character, that's one, but I never forget a face. I'm bad with names. Everyone knows that, and I'm honest with that. I'm bad with names, but I'm good with faces. If I recognize someone and I know from the shadow of the doubt is that person who's been missing for 3 months, you best believe I would have turned it in. You best believe I would have called the authorities or someone who's willing to listen, especially if I have proof of it. I'm turning it in, because this is a human being who's been missing for 3 months, and everyone declared that she's dead. Everyone thinks that she drowned when she did not drown. Okay, and for me, it's hard for me to believe that they have a tape believing that's her and they're not doing anything about it. They keep saying they don't want it to go viral. They don't want their names to be noticed. Okay, then don't release your names. Don't post it on social media. Do the right thing. Have common sense and turn it in. So I'm calling these two men out, and I'm calling them bullshit. Because if they were really telling the truth and they were really honest and sincere, they would have turned the footage in. They really don't. So again, I'm just going to keep my eye open on this and continue to follow up on this Puerto Rico theory. Again, like I said, I hope and pray that it's true, that it is really her. But until then, I don't believe these two men. I really don't. I don't believe they're very sincere. I don't believe they're honest, because if they were, they would have turned it in or called the authorities a long time ago. And that's all I have to say about that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. That's it. And I will see you guys next time.